Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast, and welcome to Transfer Hub, where we take a deeper look at links, rumours, noise, news surrounding incomings or outcomings at Aston Villa. So today's link, we have got Roony Bardghji from Copenhagen linked with a move to Aston Villa. Now, I've been at Villa Park every game this season, and I've already heard Rooney's name being chanted. So did Villa fans know that Roony was going to be coming to Aston Villa? And no, it's not that Roony. It's Roony Bardghji of Copenhagen. An exciting, hot prospect coming out of European football. He's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. I've watched him a few times this season, especially in the Champions League. Scored the winner against Manchester United in the Champions League game at Copenhagen as well. So a really exciting player that's linked with a move to Aston Villa. So let's have a little look at the player profile and figure out a little bit about him. What's he like? What's his playing style? And Roony Bardghji is just really exciting. He's a live wire. He's very, very quick. Can play on that right-hand side, can play in attacking midfield, and can also play as a striker as well. So it feels like he's got three areas of his game covered. Very quick, really good at dribbling, nice finisher, can finish his chances as well, and quite tricky. If I had to pick a player that when I watch him play, like who does he remind me of? Now, I'm not going to say he's as good as this player, but he reminds me a little bit of Eden Hazard. So he reminds me a bit of Hazard. When I watch him, I see a bit of that about him. Probably mainly for his dribbling, close control, dribbling around tight spaces, getting out of tricky areas. And he's got that about him. And he's a forward-thinking player, makes really intelligent runs. And he's a player that maybe not this window, maybe for the future, maybe he's a player that Aston Villa were looking at. So I think with this link, it's exciting because I think in this window, we've already heard from Emery. We know that players are only going to come in if they are going to improve the first 11. But I think with that, with this long reign that we hope to have with Unai Emery and the vision and the future of Aston Villa with Monchi as well. And, I'm thinking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of Unai Emery. That's the project that I'm hoping for. We are going to be signing younger players with a prospect of growing into becoming first teamers at Aston Villa. And we've only sort of seen that snippet with John Duran. We know our academy business is really good. We'll pick up players from West Brom quite a lot. We'll pick up players from different clubs like Derby. We'll utilise them in the under-23 system. We'll utilise them on a loan market. We'll send them on loan for half a season, recall them, and send them on to another loan, and we'll look after their development there. If we don't feel like there's a pathway at Aston Villa, we'll move them on for a fee, which ends up helping Aston Villa with FFP. So I think when we're looking at the scope of Aston Villa and how we're operating in loads of different markets. We've got the market of the first team. We've got the market of the future. We've got the market of the youth and development and that phase of things. So I think that's really exciting. And for someone who goes and watches the under-23s and sees some of the players and sees some of the faces like a Tommy O'Reilly, Kellyman, Rory Wilson, Josh Feeney, I'm watching these players and I'm thinking they've got so much potential at Aston Villa, and it's about managing their pathway to getting into the first team. And I think sometimes, an academy, yes, we all want young players, one of our own, to come through and make the first team, but that's very difficult to do. There's very few players that actually end up signing at Villa when they're 8 and then finishing their career at Aston Villa. You're looking at players like Ramsey and Grealish there. Those are the two at the minute that have gone through that whole pathway. And there's probably been like hundreds and hundreds of players in their teams over the years. So I think when we look at the academy, yes, we want the youngsters to come through, but we're also working with that individual player and making the best for their career as well. And if we sell some of these players for a profit, then we're making money for profit and sustainability as well. So, you're looking at someone like Zaz, like, I rated him. I thought he was good. Is he ready for Aston Villa at his age? Unfortunately not, no. So we've been able to get 2.5 million, which is going to be able to help the profit and sustainability. And I think, I'll always stick by this, that if a player's good enough, then they will play. So, no manager doesn't play youth because he just doesn't want to. They've got to be good enough, and they've got to be ready. So Tommy O'Reilly for me is really, really impressing me when I'm watching him on the ball. And obviously, that I absolutely love Kellyman as well. So I've watched him loads of times, and he's a fantastic player. And albeit he's injured at the minute, hopefully we can get a little bit more out of Kellyman towards the end of this season as well. So there's a lot to look forward to. So let's have a look then at Rooney's player profile then. So we'll kick it off on SofaScore as we normally do. So Roony Bardghji, let's have a look. 18 years of age, left-footed, wearing number 40. He's got a player value of 9.3 million euros. So far, like I mentioned, he scored a goal against Manchester United in the Champions League. He scored the winner. He's got 1 goal in the Champions League. If we have a look at his performance in the game against United, so he was on the pitch for 27 minutes. He scored 1 goal. He's got 89% passing accuracy in that game. He'd won 3 of his 3 dribbles. He won 3 of his 3 ground duels. So he had a real big performance against Manchester United in the Champions League. If we have a look at his season so far in the Superliga, we've got a 7.21. Predominantly playing on that right-hand side. I feel like I keep saying that quite a lot recently. Predominantly playing on the right-hand side. A lot of our attackers are predominantly playing on the right-hand side. He's played 17 games this season, started 14, 55 minutes per game. He's been in Team of the Week once. He's scored 7 goals, goal conversion of 28%. He's got 30.2 touches. He's had 2 big chances created. Accuracy per game, 86%. In his own half, 86. Opposition half, 83. Accuracy on long balls, 45. Accuracy on chip passes, 78. And crosses, 53%. So those are some really good numbers with his passing range, crosses, etc. Ball coverage per game, 2.4. We've got successful dribbles, 59%, which is really high. Total duels, 143. Ground duels, 44. Aerial, 36. So stats, really, really good. I think he's got a real bright future, energetic, like I say. Reminds me a little bit of Eden Hazard. So, yeah, on transfer market, he's valued at 9 million. We can see at the bottom of the screen that the proposed fee is around 20 million euros. He has played for the Sweden under-17s, under-21s. He scored 5 goals for the under-17s, 2 goals for the under-21s, and he's yet to make his first start for Sweden's national team. So, yeah, excited by this one. I think it's a really good link. It's a player that I've been looking at this season anyway and thinking, he's got a bright future. Like I say, dribbling ability, really, really good. So, an exciting one coming out. We had a rumour yesterday of Zaha linked with a move to Aston Villa. Yeah, a bit of a random one, I think. He's only just gone to Galatasaray. He's played in the Champions League. I like Zaha. I think his actual footballing ability is very, very good. I think he's got a real good footballing IQ. I think he's a clutch player, scores big goals, big moments. He's been carrying Crystal Palace for a number of years as well. And he's been raising their standard and raising their levels. And watching him at Palace, I've just always been impressed. One of those players that if he plays for you, you love him. If you play against him, you hate him. I don't know how many times we've been at Villa Park and fans have been absolutely hammering him for his sort of petulant behaviour, but that's just in his game, and he winds opposition fans up, and fair play to him. If you were a fan of that team, you'd absolutely love it. So, I think he's a really good player. You know, he's predominantly playing on that left-hand side for Galatasaray. So, you know, he's got a great ball carrying ability. We know Emery loves ball carriers. And we know Emery really rates Zaha because we saw this article when Emery left Arsenal that he didn't want to sign Pepe. He wanted Zaha. So the Spaniard said his preference was to sign a player who had proven himself in the Premier League. Former Arsenal manager Unai Emery admitted that he'd rather have signed Crystal Palace star Wilfried Zaha than Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal went on to splash £72 million on Pepe. So we know that Emery sort of has in the past really liked Zaha's game. So those are two little rumours that have been circulating in the last couple of days. Dybala, watched him last night. He got injured. I was watching him. Obviously, he's the player that's been on my mind. And I was watching him and he went off injured at half time. So that was frustrating to see him go off at half time. But yeah, those are the rumours. Pretty quiet at the minute on the rumour front anyway. So Villa fans, comment me your thoughts on how you're feeling in this window. How you feeling on Roony coming to Aston Villa? And yeah, just cheers everyone who's been watching and enjoying the content, enjoying the rumours. You know, I mean, on Transfer, what I try and do is just bring you the noise that's surrounding players in and around Aston Villa and just try and make a little bit of fun of it. And I think, you know, as you see from our normal content each week, we take you on a journey. We take you on a match week journey when we have match previews, predicted lineup, opposition previews. We'll have match reactions, fan cams, debriefs. So you get a real look at all different aspects of fan emotion after a game, whether you want more tactical stuff on the debrief, you want to hear how things are going for the opposition as well. And Transfer Hub's all about taking us on a journey of, you know, being linked with players, hearing the noise, seeing what profiles we're linked with, and then just getting your thoughts as well on how the window's going as a whole. I mean, in the summer, it was fantastic, wasn't it? Because, you know, we were linked with Pau Torres. We did breakdowns. We get excited when Fabrizio speaks. Then when we sign him, we're all excited. So we go on these journeys in transfer windows. If you've not been a part of this on this channel before, that's the general makeup of it. If a transfer window is not for you and you don't like rumours, then it's not the content for you, then, is it? So, you know, we cover the transfer window and, yeah, there we go. So, cheers, everyone who has been watching our content. Make sure you're smashing a like. Comment your thoughts down below. Predicted lineup is out tonight as well with me and Hannah up the Villa.